welcome back to the next video in this series. As you can see on the screen, we are left with the project that we finished with in the last video, where I can move my cat, start the project, and I can move my cat around by pressing the arrow keys. But it's very static. The cat isn't moving, it's very still. It's moving in space, but it's not moving itself. And we've seen, if we look back in our costumes, that we have these values here. So what I want to do is I want to use these costumes. I want to make sure that our game looks as nice as it can. So we're going to add to these values here. Okay, so what am I going to need to do? Well, I'm going to need to expand each of these with almost the same code, but you'll see how we go through this as we work our way up and down. So I'll move these out of the way for the moment. So the first thing is when we start the game, I want to make sure that I'm set at a specific costume. So I'm going to go down to looks, and I'm going to say that at the very beginning, we're going to switch the costume to costume 1, which is the one that we're at now. So no matter where the game finished, we're going to make sure that our starting point is costume 1. That's our first step. The second step we need to do is once we're moving, if we're in costume 1, we want to flip to costume 2. If we're in costume 2, we want to flip back to costume 1. So we have these costumes that we can use. So if I click over here, you can see that I have 2 costumes, and when I click on them, it makes it look as if our character is walking. So how do we use this in code? I've already set my starting costume here. So what I need to do is I need to check if I'm going to move my character. I need to check if it's costume 1, we'll then switch to costume 2. If it's costume 2, then switch back to costume 1. I need a control statement, and I'm going to need an if statement. So if, and then. If, and inside this block here, we're going to check to see if costume's equal to 1. Well, then we're going to switch our costume to 2, and then we're going to move our character. And if it's not equal to costume 1, well, then it must be equal to costume 2. And if it's costume 2, we're going to bring it back to costume 1. So I need to have here an operator. I want to check to see if it's equal to. So here, we're going to take this one across. We'll put it in there. Don't worry about this number for the moment. I'm just going to delete that to get rid of it. I'm going to go back to my looks. And I'm going to check here. What I want to look for is if costume number. And so you can see here we're checking to see if the costume number. So here, if costume number is equal to 1, well then what I want to do is I want to go back up. I'm going to switch costume to costume 2. And then I'm going to take this code here. Actually, I'm going to put this code at the bottom because it doesn't matter whether we have switched from costume 1 to costume 2 or from costume 2 back to costume 1. We still want to move our character. I'll put that there. Otherwise, we are going to switch to costume 1. I'm going to reconnect this up here. So you can see now, if I bring my character over here, as I press the right key, it doesn't move on left or up or down, but as I press the right key, it looks like he's walking. It's not very good animation, but it gives a sense of movement. Now that's with the right key. But if I go left, there's 2 problems here. First is he's not moving, so let's fix that. Let's move the up and down arrow out of the way. We don't really need them for this example here. Let's duplicate that and put it here. I don't need that. I can delete that. I'm taking the movement and I'm putting it here. I don't need this extra block here either. I can delete that. And I can reconnect. So now he's moving forward and he's moving backwards, but he's facing only one way. Now, if you think about games that you've played where you may have a character moving left and right, when they start walking to the left-hand side, they usually face the left-hand side. They want to see where they're going. And when they're going to the right-hand side, they turn around and they look at the right-hand side. How can I do that if I only have 2 costumes? Well, let's go back and have a look. So I have costume 1 and costume 2, and both of these are facing to the right-hand side of the screen. Now here's a very quick little trick. If I right-click on this and go duplicate, I get costume 3. I'll just bring this here underneath. And if I right-click on this duplicate this as well. I get costume 4. Okay, that's one. Now I have duplications. I have the same animation done twice. But what I can do is I can click on the arrow here, and I can flip on the horizontal or on the vertical. So I could flip on the horizontal here, and it rotates it the other way around. I could flip this on the horizontal, and it rotates it the other way around. So now costumes 1 and 2 will walk to the right hand side, costumes 3 and 4 will walk to the left hand side. For this to work properly, I need to check what we're doing. So you can see here that this won't exactly work. I can change this absolutely. So if it's costume 3, we'll then change it to costume 4. Otherwise, change it back to costume 3. So I can move this way, or I can turn around, I can move this way. It's quite nice. So now he's actually facing the way he should be. But this is much nicer than our previous version. But don't do this for every image in your game. Not every sprite needs to be animated. If you have a crate or a platform or some object which doesn't usually move, you don't need to animate it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please come back for more in this series.